Alright, so something a little different. I am not running the HPD at Imola, as the title probably says, because that's what I have my preload stream for the week set at. But I will change the title of this video to a complete cluster F here in just a minute. This is the new Nissan ZX-T GTP race car from late 80s, early 90s. Just downloaded it, just bought it, have not driven it yet. So you guys are going to see what I see for the first time. And like the imp I am, I'm not going to just use the baseline setup. I'm going to go change things that I think I'll want different. Okay, first of all, the caster. Let's just start by turning that down just a little bit. And why is the camber different from tire to tire? Sisters of the Blind build the setups, folks. Alright, so it has really, really strong springs. I did predict this car to be, whoa, negative 630 seconds. What are you thinking of? I did peg this car to be very HPD / L79-ish. High downforce, more modern aerodynamics, like the HPD. Prototype base, full body work like the HPD. But was still a raw, like a H, well it is an H shifter, which I will be using my Fanatec version 1.5 sequential shifter in H pattern mode. More like the L71 in that it is an H pattern. Imagine it's going to be a little bit more raw mechanically, and already I see the really strong spring rates, which confirms my suspicions a little bit there. So, and we're not going to do high downforce, let's do low downforce. So everything I just changed. No, okay, that's right. We're going to need more gear than this as well.
Okay.
Alright, so let's start there. These are just obvious things that I want to change right off the bat. We'll leave the tire pressures where they are, because remember, we adjust the tire pressures according to their hot pressure. Now, unlike the HPD, I'm probably not going to be able to see that on my dashboard. That is one thing I do like about the HPD. You know, it makes it to where I can really see things real time. What in the hell is up with the toe in on this? Does it really need all that? Let's do 2. I'm going to have to trust them for now. Really high ride height, too. Let's turn this fuel level down. That's an awful lot of fuel. I'm not going to run that many laps or I need all that fuel. Okay, so I don't really give a rat's, thing about... Okay, I don't have buttons programmed to change stuff here. I don't really care that much about lap times at this moment. Field of view is kind of weird. Let's get us down in the car here. Alright, well, let's just see what we got here. Okay, it's not liking. Yeah, I'm way ahead of myself. There we go, H pattern. Done. There we go. Okay, so there's the RPM limit, 7,500. know, it's weird shifting at this low RPMs. I don't drive a car that shifts this slow. Okay, my first mistake going into turn 5 there like it's an HPD. Keep in mind, folks, this is my first time driving this car. I just downloaded it literally right before I jumped in this session. So cut me some slack. Okay, so it doesn't have the front weight on the steering, so I can actually increase my force feedback levels for this car. A little bit of understeer, so that setup is built with a lot of understeer apparently. Yeah, awful lot of understeer. So here we are. Okay, so this is a little bit better to kind of go over building a setup with you, since when I was doing it with at Le Mans, that was with the HPD, which I already know what to go to. So even though I try to, you know, do it as authentic as I can, I'm still going to do what's in my head. So right here, but I've already felt things that need to be done. Okay, one's the brake bias. Two is we have a lot of aero understeer. So we have a lot of aero on the back of the car, a lot of downforce in the back. So we need to add some in the front. But what I'm doing right now is I'm just taking my factor out of it, making sure that I can, you know, that I can drive the car without having to adjust the setup, which I can. I already feel what the car wants to do. I just need a little more force feedback dialed in so I can feel a little bit more what's going on. Front's a little bit vague, a little ambiguous on what's happening there. I'm not feeling the front like I do in the HPD or the L79, for example. Oh, missed a shift there. Alright, let's see how easily we can get around these guys.
Clear on the left.
Oh, Paul Lindsay. Hey, Paul. Paul, you numpty. Why are you trying to outbrake me?
Still there. Clear.
Paul, I just called you a name on my stream. I don't want him to get in here and find it later.
What's that, John?
Oh, this is my first time in this car. I just downloaded it, so I'm streaming it and a setup build for it, and I just called you a name.
1 minute 58.517.
In the most endearing way possible, of course.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a tough first time.
Okay, so the first lap through, I was overdriving the car a little bit. I'm still not used to the shifting points. Seems way early to me, just the sound of it. Yes, I'd like it to rotate a little faster right there.
You have about 5 laps of fuel left.
Same here too, it plows under braking. Oh, there it was. Okay, so this is my excuse now to go make a couple of changes. Okay, so first thing, let's go in here, force feedback. We can turn that up. Let's go to 14 and see what that says. Oh, and I am on my my brakes again. I got them back. I think they came in Saturday, but I was at Circuit of the Americas watching the races, which I will give you my impressions on that here soon. Lots of things happened at that race that were interesting. But apparently Saturday my pedals came back, so I mounted them up yesterday. Didn't get a whole lot of time to use them, so I'm trying to relearn using them because I have been using a very poorly kept set of V2s that I had to do a lot of maintenance on to try to bring them up to par. Still had a brake or a throttle spiking issue with them, but I'd gotten used to them the way they were, and so now I'm trying to, you know, refamiliarize myself with my pedals. So we turned up to that. Alright, so let's find the wings here. Down. Okay, you can't turn dive planes off completely, I guess. Brake pressure, let's turn that back. Rear wing. Okay, let's see what they say about the rear wing. Rear wing flap has 5 settings. Hole 1 is the least downforce. Okay, so drag and forward shift and aero balance. So let's go to 8. We're not going to make huge changes right now. I felt mechanically the car was fine, so I'm just going to change the aero balance a little bit. So that's all we're going to change right there. And now I'm going to go out and run some laps. It is very simple to build a setup, especially on its basics. This is why I'm against fixed setup, because this helps you really learn what the car's doing and why the car's doing what it's doing. And everybody says, I don't know how to build setups when I do this. I didn't either. I had to teach myself through trial and error, as Tony Lamberti calls it, whack-a-mole. Oh yeah, boy, it feels faster out the gate. But it's getting the car to drive the way you want it to. Okay, on throttle it's still a little tight. So I'm assuming this is a dog box transmission that's allowing you to shift just by lifting. Yeah, it rotates in a little bit better there. Could use a bit more low speed rotation. Aero wise it's good now because that's a turn that's real aero dependent. Careful with the throttle there. I'm still scared of that turbo lag it has. So kind of a neutral throttle through here until I see that inside curving. Well, can't get on the gas yet. So I'm going to have to check the diff. It's a little bit understeery in the differential. Brakes are awfully sensitive. I didn't check to see if there's a brake pressure mode, but I always like low brake pressure. There's Dyno Topic. Big thanks to Dyno because he's the one who helped me get my stream set up properly. Yes, I know he's a pain in the ass at times, but he's trying. Turn 1 felt a little better there. Still a little bit more understeer than I like. Okay, so I need to get down in the 52s. I don't think I can do that. Dyno toe pick. And I'd like to say hi to the Inside Sim Racing guys. Jack, appreciate you watching the streams. Of course, Darren Ganji. I like Darren. Darren is a very polarizing figure, but that's because he's very passionate about all of this. Guys like him are who betters our hobby. I don't always agree with him. Sometimes I think he's an outright jackass, but under everything that happens, I always believe he truly wants this to get better and be better. And he is actually a nice guy. He is a guy that's willing to help. He's just also a guy who's not going to shy away from confrontation, even if it means he looks like an asshole at times. But there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so I've started shifting just below 7,000 RPMs. Seems to feel right.
1 minute 56.043.
Yeah, a lot of understeer right there. I'm having to lift off the throttle too much. This setup doesn't seem to have that planted rotational feel that I like with the HPD in that turn. Okay, so I generally advise people, and I like to spend a lot of time before I start, adjusting setups to make sure it's not my driving. However, after a couple laps, there's a few things I am able to pinpoint that I can drive around, but I don't like it. I'm having to modulate the throttle a little bit too much on exit. I don't mind modulating the throttle all the way up to the apex. After the apex, I want to be on the throttle completely from there and going. Jackie Stewart once said, "Do not get on the throttle until you are ready to be on the throttle. But once you are on the throttle, you are on it until the next braking zone." And that's the basic framework that I try to get my car set up for in a corner, to where when I hit the apex and I get on the throttle, I am no longer thinking about the brake or coasting. I am on that throttle completely until I see my next braking marker. I can't do that right now in this car because it is too tight. I don't know what the tire pressures are supposed to be on this car either. Let's bring that one up a half a pound. We didn't run enough laps for me to really tell if that's going to be right. Okay, so nose weight 39%. Do we have a ballast somewhere? Let's drop this to hole 7. ARB connected. Okay, well, yeah, I'd like it to be connected. Do I want to do it with any roll, or do I want to do it with... Let's just do it a little bit there. Okay, now I'm having a trouble. I was noticing driving off. Okay, so the drive ramp angle, we're using 3 clutch plates. Okay, and we have a low preload on the diff, so we need a little more. So we need a little more oversteer on the throttle. So let's cut that down to 65 and see if that doesn't help it. Now from there we can add preload into it. I like lower preload. I like the diff. I like the car to be looser under braking than I do under acceleration. A little easier to control. But let's start with those basics. And just to dispel a myth, because I did recently get accused of sharing ringers. I try to be as helpful as I can, but let's not forget who you're talking to. I will go Darren Ganji on somebody pretty quick. I don't tell anybody anything that I don't believe or I don't think is true. I do not lie. I'm not going to share a setup that I will not use myself unless I'm asked to. It came up because somebody saw, I think it was a Road Atlanta setup I shared. It said qual share. And so they started, this is when you share, this is when you race. I share both of them. The one I raced, 2 people didn't, they couldn't really get on the same level with that setup. So they asked me if I could do something to take this out and that out. So I started thinking about it. I created that setup to share with people who were a little bit lower speed, who were still learning the car, because it was a very fast rotating setup, which isn't good for people in the HPD that don't know how to maneuver through traffic when the car's tight. So just to dispel any myths there, and to show you that I will always do this. So you can go right here and pause. You can see what my tire pressures are. You can pause. You can see my entire chassis setup. And I do this on the HPD too, where I actually know how to set the car up. This car right here, I'm just trying to figure it out. So just to kind of get that out of the way, because it kind of irritated me when the guy said that, but I know it doesn't really matter, but there was more than one person that said it, so it did kind of irk me. So, yeah, guess we have no pit limiter. Alright. So let's see what those changes did. If I'm right, the car should now rotate a lot quicker. I still have to let off the throttle a little bit, but I want to give it a little bit of time. So let the tires come in. Let's see what it does. So I'm going to stick with this setup for a few laps. It's not locking the brakes up as much now. Oh, well. There was that turbo lag. I love it. That's so much fun. I've never had so much fun hitting a wall. I'm sorry. Geez, that just brings me back. I'm a little older, guys. I'm 42, so you know those real laggy turbo cars are something from my formative years that I just they've always made me laugh. Giggle machines, you know. First turbo car I ever drove on a track was a Dodge Conquest. It's a club racer. That was a guy that my dad had raced with for years. It was when I was first really getting on the track in a car, and I was 15. And I just remember the turbo lag was just ridiculous. It was like wind up and then just shoot you off like a cannon. And that car had, you know, 1/5 the horsepower this thing does. Or Mitsubishi Stereon for the purist. Alright, it feels a little better on the rotation. Not quite where I'd want it. I will end up adjusting that quite a bit, I can already tell you that much. Car feels really planted. I can add some more force feedback into it. I can already see that I'm not clipping yet. It feels a lot closer to the HPD than it does the L79. Because it's not as bad. I figured, I was thinking the steering feel would be more L79 with how stiff the springs are. But it's actually got that really heavy feel of the HPD. So it must mean it has a lot of front downforce. It still will not rotate under throttle. And I gotta be careful how much of that I want because of that turbo lag. I do like banging through the gears in this car though. Oops, wrong gear. That's one of the problems of using an H pattern. Sometimes you get ahead of yourself and go up to 5th gear. Or was that 4th? That was 5th gear. It went to 5th instead of 3rd. Yeah, let's see what Dino's talking about. I don't know if he's talking to me or not, but I will I'm thinking a 4-wing is probably where I'm going to want to go. Before I start relying on aero rotation, I do like to make sure the mechanical part is right.
1 minute 55.136.
Yeah, it turns in good. It just won't come off the corner good. Oh, there it was. Turbo lag kicked in. Oh, the turbo kicked in. It stopped lagging, actually, is probably a more proper way to say it. Let's go to 5 there. So spread the diff out a little bit. Let's see what that does. This thing is real draggy in first gear. It's an ugly bastard too, though. The R90 is a much sexier looking car. That's the version they ran at Le Mans. That's one thing I've got to get used to is shifting earlier. I keep basically running up on the rev limiter. This car is fun. If you haven't driven it, I highly recommend it. I think right now everybody's kind of starstruck with it. It's not as, I don't know, it's not as, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not as spiritual as some people are making it out to be. It is fun, but I don't find it drives as good as the HPD. Right now it's the turbo thing. I think everybody's just kind of going a little bit nuts over. It's very fast in a straight line. This thing accelerates like no other. It may not lap like the HPD does, but it's faster than the straightaways. A little sloppy there. It's a lot more horsepower and torque than the HPD, and that's what you got to remember when I'm coming out of the hairpin back there. Just because you think you're going straight doesn't mean stay on that throttle. You might want to neutral a little bit, let that turbo level out.
Is that better?
Oh, ruined a good lap. Or not a good one, but a better one. Sorry, Wes.
Looks
Dino,
like
of
your
course.
car is toast.
All right,
You'll need
stop
to go
it.
back to pit lane, press and hold your reset button, and we'll come
Knock
and get
it
you.
off. Clown. Sorry about that, West. I was trying to just stay dead center right there. I couldn't tell which way you wanted to go. Oh, Dean. Okay. I was upside down. Hell, I couldn't tell. Alright, so right now I don't want to mess with compression rebound or, rebound damping, compression damping. I don't really want to mess with that yet. Those are fine-tuning things that you do once you have everything else perfect. And that is directly from Wyatt Gooden. And that has helped me a lot in my setup building because I quit worrying about those quite so much. Now I use them to change, just for bumpy tracks and smooth tracks. Go a little more rear brake bias. Alright, let's try this. I think this is, I think at this point, I think the setup is good enough. It really was good enough right off the bat, but I think it's good enough for me to be comfortable driving it. That'll be my first passing opportunity with this car.
Right side. Clear.
Gotta admit, I do like how it feels. Of course, I'm also a big fan of this class of cars. This is very similar to Group C, which I really like. Okay, so my optimum is coming down.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, there it was. Hit the stupid wall. Because I was thinking about what the car wasn't doing there on that turn. I want it to rotate more. So I'm going to raise the rear ride height just a little bit. Get the car to rotate a little quicker on that initial turn in. Which I'm not sure what the ride height should be on this car anyway. Hey man, give me rock chips on my new paint job. Wait, I don't have a paint job. That's some bad gear work there. Starting to trust the car a little bit more in the kink there. Canada corner here is a little bit different. Not trusting it yet. Or trusting me with it is more accurate. I see Steve McGarvey has taken over the front runner from the Autobahn Motorsport Group Sports Car Challenge. Motor Car Group Sports Car Challenge. A good lap. Keep in mind, I'm also running over 50 pounds of fuel. I'm not exactly in qual trim either. Got to turn in early for that one.
Car stop on the right.
Oh, and it just drifted all the way through that turn. That was fun. Cost me a bunch of time, but it was fun.
One minute 55.133. You got a slow car on the right.
Come on, Nate.
Right side, clear.
Hit you on purpose. You ran off the track, come back on, and you decide to interrupt me. That's what we call poor manners. He blew his turn, goes off the track, and then comes back in and wants to get in my way. why not let the car that's coming up behind you go by? In a race, stuff like that's not going to affect me, and I wouldn't blow my turn like that, but I was annoyed at that point, driving angry, so I needed to get off the track and restart. I can say this car is not going to take me away from the HPD. Much like I love the Lotus 79, it didn't take me away from it either. But it'll be one that I will run as a supplement. Missing shifts. Still not in the set a fast lap mode. I'm still really trying to. I'm kind of thinking a lot in each corner about what the car's doing. A lot of times when I'm getting quiet, it's because I'm trying to kind of focus on what the car is doing in response to my inputs. One thing I'm doing too is analyzing in a very non-scientific, seat-of-the-pants way what my wheel relationship is, because I'm running with my 270mm cut top flat one rim, and I also have a 300mm round rim. Obviously, my first choice was this rim because this is what I use for prototypes and open wheels. Sometimes in these old cars, the steering ratio is better suited for the bigger wheel, but I don't think that's the case on this one.
You got a slow car on the right. Go left. 1 minute 54.51.
I love that blow-off valve sound.
about 5 laps of fuel left.
Didn't trust the car there.
One minute 53.772.
Okay, so it wants to be pitched right there. You almost have to be angry with the car. So, okay, so on corner entry, you're in control. The car is basically at your command, so you be angry with it. But on corner exit, it will pay you back if you're not careful. It's in control on exit. Yeah. Alright, so still not satisfied on the corner entry because it's not driving the way I want it to. I bet it's fine for a lot of people. It's fine for me, really, but it doesn't have that smooth corner entry that I'm used to with the HPD, I think. And that's part of the problem, is I'm trying to drive it the way I would the HPD. There are similarities. There's some differences. There's some glaring differences here. Need you to come up a little bit more. What are we going to do? We're going to move the brake pressure back a little bit too. What are we going to do to get this car to rotate into the turn a little better? So that this is going to shift a little bit more downforce to the front. And let's do that. Let's create a little more rake and see if that doesn't help nose this car down a little bit. Dino with a 153.1. Nice lap, Dino. I think I'm doing what a lot of new drivers at the HPD do, and that's overdrive the car. I'm feeling tempted to push harder and harder into the braking zones, and that's not what I need to do. Car feels like I should be using the paddles. It's just weird with an H pattern in a prototype, but it is an old prototype. I would be shocked if the H pattern is actually costing me any time. little bit too much throttle there. Come on.
2 minutes 11.944. You got a slow car on the right. Go left.
Pay attention to where you're at, man. I don't know what it is. Every time entering the carousel, I go to 5th gear. Car has some legs, that's for sure.
You have about 5 laps of fuel left.
Alright, the rear ride height's just a little bit too high. I can't get the car to want to hang on in the back. I put a little bit too much rake in it. So we're going to bring it down just a little bit. We're also going to lengthen 6th gear, or 5th gear. There's no 6th. You know what? Just for grins, I'm going to take a little more fuel out of this car. I'm going to go ahead and build a qual setup.
Hey, get out of the way, slowpoke.
Jagman.
You got about 5 laps of fuel.
That's good because I can't go 5 laps without putting this thing against the wall. I never did find a setting for brake pressure. I guess it's all the same in this car. Probably need to lengthen 4th gear a little bit too.
Car right, car stopped on the right. Clear. Clear.
There it is again. 5th gear instead of 3rd.
You have about 2 laps of fuel left.
Locking the brakes up.
One minute 53.787.
anyone who ever said the slowest or the fastest way is slow in, fast out never met this car. This thing is much safer on corner entry than it is exit. Exit, it's just everywhere. Damn it! Pissed me off. They're just a little bit too much and bit that grass. Oh, just bounced over the curbs. Oh, you know what? I want to lengthen fourth gear just a little bit. Probably shouldn't have made that much of a change. That's a lot of changes in gears without testing them first, but and I didn't save all the stuff I've done before. There always have been if they're not in the pit box. So the gears are completely different, so it's going to take a second to get used to that.
1 minute 53.43. You got a slow car on the right. Car stopped ahead.
Thank you, Manny. That was the proper thing to do. Okay, so the gears are way too close together. I'm gonna have to spread them out a little bit, especially for a turbocharged car. It has plenty of torque to pull those gears. There's my excuse to do it. I need to there. That I'm thinking will help. Hey, first a little jumpy.
Car stopped ahead. You got a slow car on the left. Go left. Left side. Still there. Hold your line.
Sorry, Drew. The front
Still
brakes
there.
just don't like
Hold
to be
your
locked
line.
up, I guess.
Clear.
See what happens here. There's just a lot of understeer when I get on those brakes. Yeah. So I'm going to move the brake bias back even further. Go to 55. go.
Car right. Clear on the right.
Oops. Well, I do like the brake bias back further. I'd like to have not spun like that, but I think I like third gear for that corner better. I think I like second through this one.
Go right.
I saw you coming out there, man. Scared me.
Yeah, it didn't work though. I thought you were because of the wall. I can't figure out this car. The brakes in this car, man. Keep locking up no matter what I do.
If I'd have noticed it was you earlier, I would have swerved. I've been steadily moving the brake bias back. I'm at 55 now, and it seems better.
Right. Yeah, because it defaults at 58 or something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll probably end up going beyond 55. This thing likes a really strong rear brake bias.
You got a slow car on the left. You got a slow car on the right. Go left.
I mean, I guess all the weight's in the back of the car, so kind of makes sense, I guess.
Yep. Come on, shift, damn it.
1 minute 53.243.
Ah, shit. Oh, excuse my language. Pardon my French. I'm just so far off what I think I should be able to do. I need to pay attention to where my RPMs are in 5th gear. If I'm not getting up high enough, I'm going to shorten them a little bit.
Slow car ahead.
Oops, wrong gear.
Slow car ahead. The car stopped ahead.
It's short and 4th. One minute 52.795.
You got a slow car on the left. Go right.
And every time in that corner, catch that curve on the outside. Does that?
Yeah, it feels like that's by design since I'm coming through right at that point. Foobarred that whole lap up.
One minute 52.872.
I definitely need to shorten up fourth gear. Go ahead and use this moment to do that. Alright. I think I changed it because I was trying to get rid of an awkward shift point, but I think I can... What am I doing here? Oh, I know what I'm doing. Turn up my force feedback a little bit. Oh, also before I forget, always use custom controls with this car. There you go. Let's see, garage here. What were my tire pressures? All look pretty good though. They're all coming out right where I want them. Okay, so fourth gear I want to shorten up just a little bit. There we go. Is there anything else that was awkward? No, I think that's about right. All right. Well, it's 0 to 60 time might not be very impressive, but it's 40 to 100 times. It's gonna be rocket ship. Follow McGarvey here for a little bit. Not that I have a choice because I can't pass him. He's a lot faster than I am right now. Yeah, he's running a little more downforce than I am. A lot more downforce than I am. it's there that I'm losing all my time. I gotta figure out how to make it hang on in the carousel. Able to pace them everywhere but there. Alright, so I know I have a downforce problem then. This wing is just going to be too low. Maybe it's too high. Let's try something else. Let's go down to a 3-wing. I know that defeats what I just said, but I don't like to drive the car too tight. This shift is getting old.
Sorry. Steve, you cheeky bugger. You ruined my car.
More rear brake bias. This car is just locking the brakes like crazy. So go to 54. I need to lengthen fourth again. I'm going to lengthen third along with it. This is the part of my setups that I actually spend the most time on, as you can see, are the gear ratios. That's the only place I really feel like my setups are unique, and just in the time that I spend on them. I may finally have too much rear brake bias. Oh, I should have did that. I should have. I had the corner nailed. I should have stayed in first. I mean second. Should not have gone to first. I didn't rev match very well either. Yeah, I'm past my threshold right now for learning a car. I don't like to spend this much time, start developing bad habits and start regressing. So the good news is I'm pretty sure I could run in the low 151s. Bad news is that's not near fast enough. Yeah, 52.7. I know I've got more than a second in this just driving. Right now I feel like the setup is good enough to go a lot faster than what it's going. So, you know, this kind of backs up what I always say. You're going to gain more. You're just honing your own driving skills and becoming more and more familiar with the car and what it wants to do. And building a setup is part of understanding why the car is doing what it's doing. There's a lot of tired arguments that go around with that. And, we'll have time for engineering and all this other stuff. No, you have time to practice, and when you're practicing, you do just what I did. You just make little adjustments. You don't have to go build a setup. You're not getting underneath the car with wrenches. You're clicking a mouse button and just making some changes and seeing how it feels for you. That's the most important thing, is how does it feel for you? Because I guarantee you my setup's quite a bit different than a lot of people in here who are going faster than me and going slower than me. So, it's all about your comfort zone with the car. Especially on a track like this, there's going to be speed made in so many different ways. I'm always going to side with the car being loose and fast versus being planted. Might cost me a little bit of time, but eventually, as my driving gets better with the car, I feel like my lap times will go down. Whereas if I get the car set up to where it's real stable, I don't really feel like my lap times are going to go down much. I don't think there's a lot of room at that point. I think the car pretty much has a limit, and you get there pretty quick. So, but that said, I will see you guys all on the next one.